Yeah. Bitches slam though.
What's going on, everybody? YL from RebelEars.com here again with another quick Lessons with YL, man. Today we're going over my favorite 3 compressors. I put it like this: these are my favorite 3 commonly used compressors. I do use a lot of different compressors. There's a lot of great ones out there. But I'm about to get into the 3 common compressors. They are Waves compressors. So Waves is like the more common plug-in company. Most people have Waves plugins. Most studios are going to have Waves plugins. So we're going to go over my favorite 3 Waves compressor. All right. So this is just a session that I recorded myself on. FYI, I am not an artist. I just did this so we won't have any copyright issues, or so I'm not, releasing anything that's unreleased from other artists. So this is a song that I recorded myself. I am not an artist. All right, man, let's get into it. So my very first plugin that I love is this CLA2A. This is a Chris Lowe algae plugin. It emulates the outboard LA2A, which I love. When you're talking about vocal chains and outboard gear, this plugin right here emulates that. So if you've ever worked or seen the Teletronics LA2A, this what this Wave CLA2A is all about. I really like it. It's simple. It does exactly what I needed to do. I usually use it first on most of my sessions. I really like it because this is the compressor that I use to really just get my levels and, kind of get a nice, I like to kind of keep it raw with this compressor, but this compressor is the first compressor that touches raw vocals. So a lot of sessions that I get sent from different engineers and different artists that I have to mix, sometimes the vocals are too low, they're too aggressive, they're just, maybe just really untamed. This compressor does a really good job at taming vocals straight out the gate, and it's really simple to use. So this is your gain knob. It's self-explanatory. This is your gain. This is how loud you are gonna push your compressed signal. This is your peak reduction, aka your gain reduction. If you are familiar with parameters on the compressors, this will be your gain reduction. All right, so moving this knob here will affect this gain reduction meter here. You have 3 different VU displays. You have your input, so you'll know if you're peaking, if you're up in here and it's red. You have your output, you'll know if it's peaking, and you have your gain reduction. All right, so on this song, I'm kind of harmonizing. So one thing I like about this plugin, it really does a good job, like I said before, of really taming vocals. I am not a singer. I cannot sing. So with me harmonizing, I put kind of a strong type of compression just to kind of smoothen my vocals out a little bit. And I really just did it with this peak reduction knob right here. Let me show you guys how easy it is. Actually, let me go through. I'm actually gonna get the verse. Get the verse out of there. We don't need that. It's harder than making it active. Those were ad-libs as well. Let's see. We don't need this. Harder than making active. We don't need to record track. Harder than making active. All right. That's just for processing purposes. All right. So we're just gonna highlight the hook. I'm actually gonna solo this hook. Let's go ahead and solo safe all of our oxys real quick. All right. So this is without the compressor.
When I was laying down, you weren't staying around. I got some fans now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around.
All right. And this is with the compressor.
When I was laying down, you weren't staying around. I got some fans now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around. Keep your
us out.
Better back down before you get man down. I was man down. You wanna stay around? I got some bands now.
So as you can see, really simple, and I'm really kicking my gain reduction here. I'm right between 6 and 7, and usually I like to live around between 3 and 5. But like I said, I'm harmonizing, so I really don't want aggressive vocals on this, at least not for this song for myself. So I'm really kicking the gain reduction, but we can actually play with this knob, and I'll show you the difference. Let's actually just solo the vocals.
When I was man down, you wanna stay around? I got some bands
See,
now.
there's less
You a fan
gain
now.
reduction.
I ain't playing around.
You hear how
Keep your
aggressive
head
the
down.
vocals are now.
Better back down before you get
There's less
man
compression
down.
going
I
on.
was man down. You wanna stay around?
Vocals
I got
are all
some
over the
bands
place.
now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around. Keep your head down.
See how the vocals
Better
a little
back
bit more
down
tame.
before you get man down.
And then you got over compression. It's just too much compression. So
When I was man down.
when I'm recording, I usually love to see my gain reduction on my preamp or my compressor. If the preamp has a built-in compressor, I always like to keep it between 1 and 3 while I'm recording. It just keeps everything raw. But when I'm mixing, between 3 and 5 is always nice. But like sometimes you might have to push it to 5 or 6 depending on how aggressive those vocals are, where it was recorded, who recorded it. All right, so that's a quick look at the CLA 2A. My next favorite waves compressor that everyone knows and uses will be this Porkchop. I love this Porkchop. This one is pretty simple as well. I like it because you can actually use it as a stereo compressor. You can affect your compression. You can go left, right. Like you can affect your left signal on your stereo signal differently. You can compress it differently than your right. So that's pretty dope. You know, if you're dealing with instruments, it'll work sometimes with ad libs, different things of that nature, background vocals or whatever. I usually use it linked, use it as a mono compressor. So really simple, like the other compressor. I really like simple compressors. I do like all of the high tech, you know, ozones, and you know, it's a lot of good compressors out there that look really nice, that are really just high tech. A lot of different parameters on them. I like those too. But, you know, I like to keep it simple sometimes, man. I think compression is a really simple part of mixing. And when I say that, I mean doing too much can really ruin your mix. So you want to keep it as simple as possible in compression, you know. And you don't want to kill the raw and original body of the vocals. All right, so this is the Porkchop 670. So right here we have our input. This, you know, this knob right here controls how much signal is coming into the compressor. Your output or your makeup gain would control how much is going out of the compressor. You have your threshold here. This is how much compression that you're letting in, like basically the level of compression, how much compression. And then this is your time constant, which this will be like your attack release. It's really simple and I love it. So let's pay attention. This is your gain reduction meter here.
When I was man down, you wanna stay around? I got some bands now. You a fan now? I ain't playing around.
As you can see,
keep your head.
It's rarely any gain reduction on this compressor. So this is the last compressor in this vocal chain, right? So I have two prior compressors. I have the CLA 2A that I showed you guys, and then I have another here on the sub on the bus that I'm going to show you guys next. So this is the last compressor that is going in the chain. So I don't want a lot of gain reduction. I did most of my compression up here already in the main track with my CLA 2A. I'm just using these compressors on my bus to kind of shape. All right, so I don't have a strong attack. I think my vocals are smooth enough, so I don't want to have a strong or quick attack. You know, it'll kind of just smoothen the vocals out too much. It'll take too much away too fast. When it comes to compression, my threshold is really low.
When I was man down, You wanna
But of
stay
course I
around?
can
I got some bands now.
add gain
You a
reduction.
fan now? I ain't playing around. Keep your head down.
This is
Better
over
back
compressed.
down before you get man down. I was man down. You wanna stay around? I got some bands now.
See, it's still over compressed, right?
I ain't playing around. Keep your head down. Better back down before you get man down. When I was man down, you wanna stay around. I got some bands now. You a fan now.
And like I said, this is just your attack and release.
Keep your head down. Better back down.
So it's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more gain reduction going on.
I got some bands now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around. Keep your head down.
And then you see it got a little smoother, right? And this is our output gain. Pro Tools. Alright, come on now, Pro Tools.
When I was man down, you wanna stay around. I got some bands now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around. Keep your head down. Better back down before you get man down.
Alright. So that's the Porkchop 670. And this is my very, very favorite compressor. That is a waves compressor. That is a common compressor. I really love this compressor. I usually use it on my buses for vocals, for instruments, for drums, because there's so much you can do. As you can see, it's a lot more knobs and buttons and a lot more bells and whistles to this one, a lot more parameters. This is my favorite. This is the hybrid comp, the H comp from Waves, coming out of the hybrid series line. They make really good plugins as well. All right, so really quick, you have all of your regular bells and whistles, parameters of a regular compressor. You have your ratio here, you have your attack, you have your threshold, you have your release, you have your output or your makeup gain. So basically, this compressor, why I like this compressor, like I said, it's so much you can do, and I can really kind of shape my sound, right? So this compressor is second in this particular chain. I'm really using this compressor to shape my vocals, right? That last compressor, the Porkchop 670 that I showed you guys right here, that's more so getting my last minute vocals, just getting the last minute anything that's choppy up out of there and just trying to compress it, smoothing it out, get everything going. But this right here will probably be the more important compressor. When I play this, you'll probably see a little bit more gain reduction living up in here. But I like this plug-in because I'm coming in, I can really work on my mix and wet, my dry and wet mix, excuse me. And I like this analog knob right here. So it actually gives a nice warm, nice body to the mix. So that's why I like this compressor. And the punch knob right here is great for like drums, especially kick, any guitar, even vocals, man. I use this knob sometimes. Sometimes I get sessions and, you know, they might already have effects on them, and sometimes it's over compressed and different things, and this punch kind of helps me out sometimes, just tweaking this every now and then. You know, so attack, release, threshold, ratio, punch, attack, analog, output, mix. And then you can also sync here. You can sync to BPM, you can give it a host to sync to, or you can go mid-side as well. So that's pretty dope. You do have your input meter and your output meter and your gain reduction meter. So let's hear this without this compressor. With the compressor. You hear the difference. This is really giving us the body of these vocals.
You a fan now, I ain't playing around. Keep your head down, better back down before you get man down.
And I have a very kind of just normal attack on it, a little late release. Just I want my compression to live a little bit longer there, especially since there's not a lot of compression going on. Ratio at 3, usually it'll be somewhere between 3 and 4 is where I like to have vocals. And this analog knob is really cool. So check this out. I'll show you guys this. So we're gonna solo this again. Let's play it.
When I was man down, you weren't staying around. I got some band now.
So if you hear the analog,
I ain't playing around.
if you hear this analog with it off,
you get man down.
it's a little more sharp. It's a little more punchy, right? But check this out when I turn the analog all the way up.
When I was man down, you weren't staying around. I got some band now. You a fan now. I ain't playing around. Keep your head down. Better back down before you get man down. When I was man down, you weren't staying around. I got some bands now. You a fan.
So you can hear a little body being added to that, and that's why I love analog gear, especially for vocal chains. I just really love the warmth in the body that analog gear gives you. This punch is really kind of like, let's go through it real quick. I'll show you the difference.
When I was
So no punch on it, not really.
I got some band now. You a fan now. I ain't
so the punch is really kind of driving it, is making it a whole lot more aggressive. So like I said, the punch can help when things are over compressed sometimes, but it really works well on drums and guitars. And then your wet dry mix.
When I was man down, you weren't staying around. I got some band now. You a fan now. I ain't
so this just allows you to control how much of this plug-in of these controls, once you tweak all these bells and whistles, this right here just allows you to control how much of that you're actually letting back into the mix. So those are my 3 favorite common waves compressors, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you guys. Today was a short video, had a lot going on this week. Better videos on the way, new content on the way, podcast visuals on the way. Hope you guys hit the like button, share, comment. Don't forget to please subscribe, hit that noti bell. We have a lot of content coming out in 2023. Again, YL from RebelEars.com here again. Lessons with YL. Refuse to sound ordinary.
Looking at my wristwatch, tick-tock. Time is moving fast. Ain't no time for making pics.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Check out our website, RebelEars.com, for all the cool products we have for you guys. Follow us on social media, Rebel Ears Podcast on Instagram, Rebel Ears on Twitter, Rebel Ears on TikTok. And I'll see you guys next time. Be safe.